The reindustrialization of the North cannot happen without the resources that are in the South. Even the word waste should be eliminated from the vocabulary.
Welcome to The Big Question, a series from Euronews where we discuss some of the most important topics on the business agenda. I'm Angela Barnes, and today I'm joined by Christophe Yvetot from the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Christophe, thank you very much for joining us on the show. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, Christophe, so a big part of UNIDO's work is focusing on the UN Sustainable Development Goal, of course. And Goal 9 is a big part of that, which, for those who don't know, is build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialisation, and foster innovation. And Christophe, a sustainable industrialisation, it always feels like a bit of an oxymoron. How do you envisage the balance?
So in the past, we know that industrialization has also had a very strong footprint on the environment. At the same time, we are now in an industrial civilization. Everything around us is industrial. We all benefit from the services and products that are created every day. Now, the big challenge is to make sure that everything that is produced has the least impact on the environment. We have seen through what we call the circular economy that we can make sure we avoid waste, and we can make sure that even the word waste should be eliminated from the vocabulary, because waste doesn't exist. It's only a raw material that you don't use. You haven't found the way to use a raw material. So we could utilize all the material more efficiently. We are one of the promoters of circular economy around the world, and we see not only that it decreases the cost of production, but also you create new jobs, because instead of wasting or throwing away raw material, you use it, you create new industries on this basis, and this is really something that is profitable for everyone.
Interesting, because there have been criticisms that achieving some of the more economic industrial goals will prevent the ability to achieve emissions or ecological goals. Is each goal given the same importance focus, do you think, and should they be given the same level?
I mean, all those are big challenges. And for sure, you have maybe some SDGs which will be the consequence of others. Let me make a clear example. In SDG 9, we have inclusive and sustainable industrialization. It means, for example, I was posted 5 years in Senegal, in Africa. So most of the products, fruit or vegetables, for example, that are produced, a part of them are lost in the way, what we call the post-harvest losses. And also they are most of the time sold without any local transformation. I mean, if we would work to add more value on the ground, train the people, have the machinery to transform the fruit in fruit juice and all those agricultural products, that could create many jobs. Many jobs mean that you would have an direct impact on Goal 1, on poverty, Goal 2, on hunger. Many times women are those working in those activities, so it will be Goal 4 on equality. If you utilize machinery that is more resource efficient, you can also contribute to all the goals related to the environment. What we recommend is to invest more on industry, because industry can have a big impact on the other goals. What we have seen also with the new report is that every time that you have more industry in the GDP or in the wealth of a country, you have quasi automatically more human development. It means more access to education, more access to health services, more life expectancy, more equality between men and women. So you have a direct impact on social goals, on human goals.
There's an estimated $4 billion funding gap to achieve all the SDGs. Where can this money come from to make this happen?
There's a lot of money, more than we think, and if well invested, we think that we can really leverage all the society toward this goal. Of course, the effort made in some part needs to be made also globally. Otherwise, what we see, private sector complain sometimes that they have many rules to comply with, and maybe their competitors don't have that. So it's very important to make sure we have a global playing field. There's a lot of money that is now invested. You see the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act in the US. You've seen the big recovery plan of Europe, 750 billion to invest in new technologies, in climate-friendly technologies. But you see there's a need for more solidarity, because most of the countries of the world, through the COVID-19 crisis, they've been more indebted. They are more in suffering than before, and we need a solidarity, because if we fight climate in Europe or the US or China is very good, but if we don't do it in the rest of the world, we are not going to make progress.
Do you think that there is more support in place now for poorer countries?
At the moment, many countries are looking more inwards than outwards. One of the mega trends that we have seen in the last 30 years is that, for example, the US and Europe. So there's a strong move now to reindustrialize. What we believe is that while this is legitimate, because people need jobs also here, is that many of those resources are in the global south. I think countries should think more how to co-industrialize. The reindustrialization of the north cannot happen without the resources that are in the south. So now, how to build this partnership, win-win partnership, where those having the resources share them, but also they keep also a part of the wealth to create jobs, so that people see that, okay, they trade their resources, but they see also improvements in their everyday life, that people have jobs, people are more prosperous, and this is what they are looking for.
And Christophe, finally, if you had to summarise one key thing that we need to get right that could unlock big change across Europe and across the globe for Sustainable Development Goals, what would that be?
First, we need to really support industry, because without industry you don't have human development and prosperity. Second, we need, of course, this industry fueled by sustainable energy. Without energy and sustainable energy, we will never reach our goal in terms of climate.
Christophe, thank you very much for your insights. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for joining us on The Big Question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.